So yeah, if you can't tell by the title of the video, I made Atom Smasher from Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Kind of. So let's just talk about it just a little bit because interesting costume, to be honest. So let's just talk about it. Okay, so I'm gonna be very completely 100% genuinely honest. I think this is probably the worst costume I have ever made, if I'm being honest, because I'll get to that in a second. But personally, I think it's not my best work. Like, I really don't think it's my best work, but a lot of people actually did seem to enjoy it and they found it to be pretty interesting. Me, it just kind of felt like a rush product. But before I get into that, let me talk about why I made it. So it's just been a few weeks since Anime Expo. So one of the reasons I actually ended up making Atom Smash over like any other costume I had planned was because one of my mutuals, Kiki, she actually joked around saying, hey, you should do Atom Smasher so I could do Rebecca from Cyberpunk. And I'm like, here's the thing, at the time she mentioned that, I was still at MomoCon Atlanta, and we did Archer and Ren together. We did like a cool cosplay photo shoot, and she's like, you really should do Atom Smasher for like Anime Expo if you decide to go. And I'm like, I don't know, because that would only give me like a 2 week time frame limit to actually make it, and I'm kind of busy traveling, doing all this other stuff. Like, June was a pretty hectic month for me. If you guys don't know too much about me, I like have a side business where I go to like conventions and sell stuff, link in the bio. But yeah, so when it actually came down to it, like designing Atom Smasher, I had literally about a week and a half at best to design, make, test, and fit Atom Smasher. I'm like, how am I gonna do this in like a whole week? And when it actually came down to it, I'm like, oh shit, how am I gonna make this? Like, how am I gonna make this in like a few days? And being the crazy guy that I am, I actually managed to pull it off. It's not my best work. Like, to be honest, I used this, the only way I was able to create this entire pattern was using like rough references from the Cyberpunk Edge Runners anime and the video game. So I kind of use a combination of both references from the video game and the anime to create my weird monstrosity. One of the main things people like been questioning me about was, why is the neck so freakishly long? Well, it's because I needed a way to like put on my head without being on my head. Does that make sense? I wanted to give it like an inhumane type of look, and one of the main reasons I was able to design it the way I did, at least the helmet part, was I used like a foam mannequin, the ones that you get like Hobby Lobby and stuff for like $4. I was able to modify that using EVA foam, foam clay, wood, as well as some other stuff. And then I kind of attached it using some Velcro straps, some straps at the bottom towards my neck. I would pull out the helmet itself, but it's kind of buried in one of the boxes behind me, and that's a lot of work. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I kind of designed it that way, so freakishly long, to make it look inhuman. And because I literally had no other way of designing it, because my original plan was to cover myself up with makeup and do prosthetics, but I've never done prosthetics in my life, and that was gonna take way too long, so I decided against it, to be honest. Another reason I decided to go with the way I made it was because a lot of this project was actually made using scrap EVA foam, like a bunch of scrap foam that I just had laying around. I decided, okay, I don't want to throw this perfectly good foam away. I'm just going to use the leftover and just create this. So a lot of the patterns, a lot of the stuff that you see was mostly just kind of guesswork, using some of the references, and literally it was a bunch of guesswork. Like, okay, if I put A and B together, is it going to work out? And it actually did work out, especially making like the chest type of thing, and especially making the arm designs. I think it came out pretty fantastic. I really think it's well done. But for those of you who commented like online and said, oh, this looks like a dumb Atom Smasher, that's because it kind of is. It was really rushed. This is what I consider to be at least version 1. My original idea for Atom Smasher, had I planned it out a bit more thoroughly, would have intended this creation to be about 12 feet tall. I was going to use a combination of like buckets and some other stuff to make myself stilts. It was going to be a combination of using some stilts to make myself look 12 feet tall, to make the arms a bit bigger. That's kind of why the neck was so freakishly long, because I was intending it to be a lot bigger, but that didn't really plan out accordingly, so it ended up being a smaller version of Atom Smasher. And one of the other reasons was I had to make a travel size. You know how difficult it is to travel with most of my costumes, like domestically into conventions out of state. Extremely extremely hard and kind of limited, to be honest. Am I gonna make a second version of Atom Smasher? Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna make it a bunch better. So for those of you that were asking, oh, why can't you make it better? I am gonna make it better, like 100%. It's gonna be better. Just give me some time. Give me a few months to like refigure out the design, refigure everything out. Plus, I need more space for like my costume because it's a pretty big costume. Anyways, that's just my Atom Smasher, how I made it. Just a few quick thoughts on it. And if you saw my Atom Smasher at Anime Expo, what did you think? What's something you think I could do to improve it for my version 2, which I do plan on making at some point, maybe sometime next year. But let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys on my next video. Be sure to check out my other channel where I talk about anime, comics, and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll catch you guys on my next cosplay video. And yeah, peace.